Last week I said that blowing apart the whole Hudson again comes next to take care of lots of unfinished business. But I noticed something that I have to sort out before I can do that. So I've got an issue right here. With the wheels fully turned and a truck at approximate ride height, the tire is catching the fender right there. That's not going to do. Look, it's tied up against the edge of the fender there, that lip. And of course, if the suspension works, it's going to get even worse. It's not quite as bad when the wheels are turned the other way, but still too close for comfort. So yes, I'm going to have to do a little bit of surgery here and remove some of this material to get that clearance that I want, or that I need. Something to this effect. I'm going to try and make a smooth line here. Probably stand back and look at it for a bit to make sure that it flows and it's aesthetically pleasing as well. Yeah, rather too little than too much for a start. I can always cut off more when I check it again. It's a lot easier to take material away than to add it again. Yeah, not exactly fair at the moment, eh? Got the front end jacked up a little bit to give me better access, but I would need to even out that line a little bit. I'll just use the flap disc for that. Yes, looking better, but not quite there, I think. Right there. I need to remove a little bit more. The only way you can really do this is by eye. So I am staring at it quite intently to try and visualize a nice fair curve up there. Just a touch. Right here, not much. Probably only about 2-3 millimeters or something to that effect. Yeah, that's good enough for now, I reckon. I would still need to stiffen this edge. So when I take the fender off again, I can align this, edge this with some round bar, and that will give me opportunity for final fine-tuning. Yes, I'm happy now. Look, I can get my whole hand in here. And at the moment the front suspension is only about 2 inches off the ground. So even if you were to drive it that low, still enough clearance here. That's going to work for me. Then repeated the whole business on this side. So we're done with this story for now. So every time I do this, I have guys asking me, how do you know that the two sides are the same? And then I always counter with another question, which is, how do you know that they're not the same? There's actually no way of knowing, because you can't see the two sides at the same time. Unless you take measurements and you make up templates and you run from one side to the other and keep comparing and all of that. So you know what? It doesn't actually matter. And I'm pretty sure they're not the same. But no one will ever see it. Yeah, and if you're wondering why I don't make much progress on my projects, is because I have to help this barefoot asshole fabricate all sorts of nonsense from farm junk. I mean, what the hell is this all about? Yeah, some kind of a tow bar for someone's tractor or whatever.
It's called boermakerplan.
Yeah. I don't know why I get involved in junk like this.
Because I drag him into your yard.
Yes, exactly. Well, I guess the time has come to take this truck apart. Running boards first, I reckon. Well, I think I'm ready to take the scab off now. I did make a note of a few things that I have to do when the cab is off. Let me show you. I would like to strengthen up this section here right above the cab mount. So I'm going to fit a block section there on the inside. I'll do this on both sides of the cab. Hard to see in here, but I need to cut a little bit more clearance here above the transmission. I can hardly get my finger in there at the moment, and I would like to have more clearance there. Now I've still got to finish the tunnel here. Now this is where the drive shaft sits when the truck is fully slammed. So I must make sure that the tunnel clears that. Now I made these things back then. You see how rusted they are already. But yes, I think that is going to be fine. As sort of structural members, and then you can just tunnel across this. I think that's good. Maybe I can lower this a little bit, we'll see. And I still have this sort of thing going on. And here. And here. And here. And all along here. And there. But let such trivial matters not concern us at this stage of the fight. Time to take off this cab. Hanging a little skew. Yeah, it's a little skew, but that's not the end of the world. Just like the good. Another pile of parts in this area right here. It has now approached a level of ridiculousness. Somebody please send me the number of a good therapist. Yes, so many guys my age are now retired. I suppose they play a little golf, do a spot of fishing, talk some shit with the other animals, that sort of thing. But I'm not retired. I am now just tired. So I think I'm going to spend the rest of the day sitting in a chair and building cars in my mind. The barefoot mechanic has spoiled the whole shot. Look at me, I'm so lucky. That's what you get if you build rusty cars. And I'm pretty convinced there's going to be a cold one or two involved in the process. So until I see you again next week, have a lucky one as always.
Whatever makes you happy, it just depends on you. So think a little bigger and dream what you could do.